In the world of the cloud, licenses and services will become integrated. And we won't think about these things as having different pieces. So yes, things change, particularly as it relates to our business customers. Things change quite a bit. Our partners add a lot of value today in the process of selling and servicing our customers as it relates to licenses. We will also have partners that participate and do that in the world of services. Everything will be different, and yet the opportunity for our partners to add value will continue strong. We're working with software vendors who are moving their applications to our Windows, Azure, and SQL Azure infrastructure. I had a chance to talk about one such provider who builds staffing applications, OCC Minial, here in Mexico. But we have partners and software developers we're working with in every part of the world. The opportunity for distributors and resellers to continue to be active selling services as opposed to software, I think, is quite strong. The fundamental value add of our distributors today is not that they know how to ship a DVD. It's that they understand how to provide value-added services. They've got sales capacity. They know how to help the customer understand what they're doing and keep track of it. Some of that will be handled by technology. Some of that will be handled, in conjunction with our partners.
Quiero hacer un comentario. Hemos estado trabajando en México muy de cerca con nuestros canales de distribución, con nuestros socios, nuestros integradores. Por muchos años hemos hecho un gran negocio con el ecosistema de socios que tenemos en nuestro país. Por cada peso que invertimos en México como Microsoft, se generan 12 pesos indirectos en nuestro ecosistema. Entonces es fundamental que nosotros también eduquemos a nuestros canales a esta evolución, como es Steve, de la venta del producto tradicional hacia la venta de servicios. Y parte de nuestros esfuerzos de entrenamiento que ya estamos teniendo el día de hoy en México es en esa educación y en esa capacitación y en ese cambio que debe de haber en las compañías que ofrecen servicios de tecnología de información en México.
Well, essentially, cloud computing is sort of financed by definition. If you pay per month, it's got that characteristic, essentially, of financing built into it, at least for the business customer. For the consumer, if it's an Xbox Live subscription, we can ask for the money up front, we can ask for it every month. We'll have appropriate offers for our business and consumer customers, where we understand financing is an important part of the offer here in Mexico. We designed Windows Azure with 6 or 7 layers of security, where it gives us a chance to think freshly about security. It's obviously very important, and it'll be an area where we have to continue to invest and enhance our offer, I'm sure. There are always going to be bad guys in the world. There will be hackers who want to break in to our infrastructure, to government infrastructure. That's not going to change, and we're just going to have to run hard to make sure that we're staying ahead, so to speak, of the bad guys. The kinds of things that the government of Mexico and that President Calderon had a chance to speak about in his address to government leaders in technology from all of Latin America this morning. He talked about digital literacy. He talked about digital infrastructure. He talked about graduating people who are sophisticated in their use of information technology to drive services and information technology-based economy. Those things, I think, are very well known at this stage and certainly being actively pursued by President Calderon. I had a chance to have similar discussions in Colombia, in Argentina, in Brazil. I have confidence that broadband infrastructure will flourish in this country, that the private sector, with appropriate involvement from government, will absolutely continue to drive the presence and availability of broadband. I was learning about some of the interesting things that some of our partners in the telecom industry are doing here in Mexico, which I think are fantastic. There's just a lot more investment that needs to be made. I'm sure the investments will be made with appropriate return.
Dentro del marco del programa que tiene la Secretaría de Economía que se llama México Emprende, lo que hemos es puesto un programa a disposición de todas las pymes para que puedan adquirir tecnologías, computadoras y servicios en la nube a bajo costo. Es impresionante que en esta primera versión que lanzamos al mercado, más de 40,000 empresas se afiliaron al servicio de Office Live. Ahora estamos lanzando una nueva generación de servicios en la nube, más financiamiento y alianzas estratégicas con ensambladores de PCs en México para que las pymes tengan mucho más accesibilidad a la tecnología y a bajo costo. A través de un programa muy bonito que tenemos en Microsoft que se llama Business Park, le estamos dando de manera gratuita toda la tecnología que requieren las pymes por 3 años para que puedan desarrollar su negocio.
Well, we're great partners with Telmex and with American Mobile. We talked a lot about the opportunities of new technologies and what those can mean. We obviously have our Prodigy joint venture, which is very important to us. We work on phones, enterprise, consumer offers of many, many kinds, and we discussed the opportunities. And then, frankly, we talked a lot about the application of technology to social issues. Mr. Slim had a lot of ideas about how to help and a lot of things they're doing in education, healthcare. I was very keen to hear and excited about the social side of the discussion, social contribution side, in addition to the discussion of our business partnership and opportunities. The Mexican market has really been unbelievable in its growth over the last several years. This year it'll be 5.5 million, something like that, computers, which makes Mexico one of the top 10 markets in the world. It's growing faster than many other markets. It's a large population. There's a large group of very well-educated people and a chance to bring more people across the digital divide. I anticipate over the next 5 years, Mexico will be one of our 6, 7 largest subsidiaries. So if I'm sitting in the shoes of a Mexican citizen, I would rest assured that broadband is going to keep getting better and better here in Mexico. I thank the President for the work that his administration and the Congress did to pass a new intellectual property protection, and I wished him well in pushing it forward into implementation. To all of us, as creators, essentially, of intellectual property, software, journalists, we all create intellectual property. I think it's wonderful to see the push on intellectual property protection